or hunger, or destitution, or peril, or sword. But these days, who should separate us from the love of God? Should it be our friends, music, enticing music out there, drugs? Those are the issues all that for today. I mean, even more than when we were growing up. Even more. I tell my kids that all the time. I say it's a dark. The world's getting darker and darker. It's different than when we were growing up. It's it's the same devil, it's the same God. God's the same, but it's more temptation because we're in the end times now, even more closer now. So there's a lot of distractions that can that separate us from the love of God. So we can, it's a tribulation or distress or persecution or famine. But you put in today's world, today's that's like the Bible, say famine, nakedness, distress. But I said, what does that mean? What does that mean, famine? Do anybody know what famine means?
Hunger.
I got another one there. What should separate us from the love of God? When you in school, the way you dress, maybe not in private schools or whatnot, but the way you dress, like with my son used to go to Everglades. And Everglades, they were real big on what you wore at the time, what kind of shoes, like if you wore, especially on the sports teams, you was expected to come to school looking a certain way. If you wore, like, y'all ever seen the USPA, U.S. Polo Association?
Yeah.
Yeah, U.S. You know what I'm saying? I like that stuff. But you know what I'm saying? That's bad.
I like this.
Well, my son is, if you wearing that, you like a gimmick. If you wearing the USPA, then you kind of like, oh, your people ain't right. So I say, well, hey, man, if I send you some USPA, they say, no, Daddy, don't send me none of that. I don't want no USPA stuff, because, the USPA stuff, when we get into the whole scene of the clothing, what we wear, and trying to appease our friends at school, making sure that we're keeping up with them. When they buy something, we buy something. Or if they have something, we have something. Or I don't ride the bus no more because my friend coming to pick me up. That type of thing. We got all of those things in our mind, bombarding our minds. And it's causing a separation. I always talk about love don't cost a thing. We want to be something that we're not. We want to be popular. How many of y'all like popularity? Seriously. My son, come on, son. Yeah, because popularity is better than being a social leper.
Yep.
That's what he said. And it's true. If you around here talking about you got the nerds and stuff, the cool people ain't going to hang with the nerds unless it's, I need you for a test or something like that. Do my homework.
I'm not like that.
I'm just saying, huh?
Like in high school, it's not like really popular kids. You know what I mean?
It's not the popular kids.
Not really. Well, not at our school at least.
Not with, I don't know, I think, yeah, that's, but I'm saying you do have the popular kids and the unpopular kids. The football players go on, at my son's school, the football players hung with the football players. They might break off a little bit and go with their girlfriends or whatever, but it was all about the football team. If you was on the football team, they 7-0. Oh, we 7-0. So we riding, and even, hey, we undefeated. That's what he's telling me. Oh, man, you done got a little arrogant there, little man. But he's talking about all of those things that would make the spotlight be on him. All eyes on me. Okay, we'll fix that. But, we got to think about this. What's separating us from the love? And everybody here got something that's at you trying to distract you from doing something. Just like I'll just say, like, we're going to keep it real, right? We keep it real in here, right? A couple of weeks ago, I ain't trying to steal your thunder. Just give me a minute here. We had a service where Sister Jasmine, she sung the song "Tragedies Are Commonplace." Y'all remember that? Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. After that, we were praising the Lord. Pastor couldn't hardly preach, right? So how about I go to work? I'm coming in, And my supervisor called me and put me in the funk for the rest of the night. I mean, he called me. I was so out of sorts after me and him had that conversation, because he never called me on a Sunday night, and he called me with some Huey. There ain't no other word I could use for it.
Foolishness.
Yeah, food, a big old bowl of cows. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and the girl next to me, she was like, "Dog, Sarge, I seen you coming here. You was all happy, and then your whole countenance changed." I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't mean for it to go that way, but understand that the devil don't want y'all to be happy. And every time you get happy, he's going to always be throwing things in your way, trying to get you in a funk. Okay.
Also, we was talking about what should separate you from the love of God. Should it be disobedience to my parents and my clothes? What is it? What will distract me from loving God? Not having enough money. It's like you have to give all. We have to make up in our mind, in our hearts and mind, that no matter what, we're going to love God. No matter what, no matter how things are going, no matter what money I don't have, I'm still going to love God. No matter trials and tribulations, no matter what I'm going through, we're going to love Him with all our heart, mind, and soul. There's nothing in this world that separates us from the love of God. And He said also, He said, if you really love me, you will keep my commandments. That's what you're going to keep His obey His laws if you love Him, if you truly love Him. That's John 14:15. John 14:15. No matter what he or she has doing, it's doing it. Y'all on this page here? This page right here.
Everybody didn't get that page. There wasn't a lot of pages on that.
For the Psalm 96.
Multi-Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, Joshua 24:15 for the Message Bible. You want to read that, Joshua? You got the paper? No? Who has it? You can read this. Joshua 24:15 for the Message Bible. Y'all don't have that? Oh. You want to read that one?
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Oh man, this is the right one, right?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. If you decide that it is a bad thing to worship God, then choose God you rather serve, and do it today. Choose one of the gods your ancestors worshiped from the country beyond the river, or one of the gods of the Amorites, on whose land you're now living. As for me and my family, we'll worship God.
You didn't read that like you went to Carol City. That was very well.
Dude.
Becky.
You want to read the Amplified version underneath that one? You want to read the Amplified version also?
Okay. And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
That's a declaration that we have over our household, that my children, my whole household, God promises that we're going to serve the Lord. Me and my whole household. We're going to serve the Lord. We ain't going to serve the God of this world. We ain't going to serve the God of some other foreign place. We're going to serve the true and living God. He's the one that we love, and this the one that cares for us. And He's Jesus, the one that died for our sins. So my whole household, that's what we're going to serve, the true and living God. Okay.
When we talk about how influential is music in our lives? How many of y'all listen to a lot of music? Wow, that's a whole lot of people. How many of y'all listen to all Christian music? All Christian music. How many of y'all listen to like 96.7% of Christian music? How many of you listen to like 80% of, how many, 50-50 here? Okay, 35